Well, it was a negative day for the stock market, the closing bell just happening on Wall Street as investors react to new inflation numbers. The government report out today on inflation shows that consumer prices rose 2.7% in December compared to last year. The report shows that prices rose for groceries, utilities, childcare, and rent. Gas prices were down from the month before. This afternoon, President Trump touting the economy at the Detroit Economic Club.
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good, though, I will say. Oh, you're so lucky to be here. Under our administration, growth is exploding, productivity is soaring, investment is booming, incomes are rising, inflation is defeated, America is respected again like never before.
Joining us for more is ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce. Mary, what were some of the takeaways from this message from the president there in Detroit today?
Well, Elizabeth, the president certainly is painting a very rosy economic picture. But of course, the president, this administration, Republicans writ large are well aware that Americans simply are not feeling that in their own wallets. And when they go to the grocery store and check out their receipt, this speech is part of a series of speeches and remarks that the president is doing across the country as we head towards the midterms, trying to get out ahead of what he knows is the #1 issue for voters, especially come November, the economy, the issue of affordability. What stands out often in these speeches is that when the president is talking about the economy, there isn't a lot of empathy. He isn't out there saying, you know, I understand this is difficult, stick with me. Instead, he is simply sort of plowing ahead and insisting that his policies are working and that Americans need to essentially trust him. The question is whether or not Americans are going to continue to stick with him based on what we are seeing from, you know, the reality of these economic numbers. And as you mentioned, of course, you know, inflation, the latest number showing 2.7% year over year, so up 2.7% from this time last year. So Americans are feeling something very different in their real life versus what the president is out selling on the road, and he's trying to get ahead of that. Of course, as is often the case in these speeches, the president, while he intends to focus on the economy, he often veers into other issues, and that was certainly the case during these very lengthy, at time rambling remarks in Detroit today, Elizabeth.
Right, and as you say, Mary, can't ignore the price you see when you are getting groceries. You see those prices going up. Meantime, the fallout growing over the Justice Department's criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. I know you caught the president as he was departing the White House today. He continued to attack Powell.
Yeah, and he continued to attack him.
He's billions of dollars over budget, so he either is incompetent or he's crooked. I don't know what he is, but he doesn't do a very good job.
That was his response to your question, Mary.
Yeah, it was. And look, the president also in his remarks continued to attack Chairman Jerome Powell. He says that, you know, the economy would be doing better if Powell had followed the president's advice and lowered interest rates. But the president, you know, telling everyone there in Detroit, quote, the jerk will be gone soon. And what you just heard from the president there when we caught him as he was leaving the White House, I asked him specifically about a lot of the pushback that we're getting from Republicans to this DOJ investigation into the chairman of the Fed. We have heard from a lot of top Republicans questioning this investigation, raising serious concerns that it undermines confidence in the Fed. But the president dismissing those concerns when I asked him about them directly. I asked him if he approves of this investigation, and you heard him there again just railing against Jerome Powell, saying he's either incompetent or crooked. Clearly, we know he doesn't like the job that the chairman has been doing. The question is, does that necessitate or warrant a DOJ investigation? And we have been hearing from so many Republicans who say essentially they better have a smoking gun. As Republican leader John Thune said just a short while ago, you don't trifle with the Fed. They feel that the bar has to be pretty high for an investigation like this, given what it can do to consumer confidence, Elizabeth.
Yeah, some pretty firm pushback there. Mary Bruce at the White House. Thanks so much, Mary.